Access to information is a key concept associated with open and transparent government. By routinely disclosing municipal records, information is open and available to the public to review and discuss. By sharing bylaws, policies, and procedures, Council demonstrates transparency and accountability, which in turn increases citizen confidence in decision making. Limiting access to municipal records may raise public questions or concerns about accountability and transparency in municipal operations and council decision making. While it is recommended that council make every effort to proactively disclose municipal records, there are some records and information that must remain confidential. The Federation of PEI Municipalities has an open municipal government toolkit for access to information and protection of privacy. Here you'll find all the information that you need related to access to information for municipal governments, sections of the MGA that require a municipality to enact an access to information and protection of privacy bylaw, and a model bylaw that can be used by municipalities in their municipal operations. In addition to that, there is an access to information and protection of personal information regulation, and this requires that there is a municipal bylaw covering a number of areas, including an appointment of an access to information coordinator, requirements around access to records and inspection of records from various stakeholders, fees associated with accessing records, the authority of the municipality to collect personal information, and requirements around security and use of personal information. There is also a requirement for the bylaw to address a complaint review and adjudication process related to access to information and protection of personal information.
Page 66 of the Local Government Resource Handbook has a list of all municipal documents that are considered public. So this includes information about property tax assessments, approved financial plans and financial statements, reports from the auditor, meeting minutes, resolutions and bylaws, and then also documents related to planning and development, permits and approvals, different grants and donations that may have been issued or made by the municipality, contracts with the exception of some confidential contracts, strategic plans, policies, and other documents that were tabled or adopted at a council meeting. Now, there are different classes or categories of information that are not permitted to be disclosed to the public, and so must be redacted from these public documents. For example, in permits, there may be personal information that has to be redacted before the permit or approval could be made public. And this is true as well for contracts, grants, donations, and meeting minutes that were taken from closed meetings. The model bylaw for access to information from municipal affairs addresses all the requirements from the Act and regulations. It also has a sample framework for types of information that can be made available in different time frames to the public. So for example, category 1 information would be information that's available on demand. So this must be readily accessible at the municipal office. Category 2 is information that is readily available but not necessarily on hand. And in the model bylaw, the time frame for production is 30 days from application, and this means that the information may be stored off-site or that it needs to be reviewed and redacted for personal information prior to being provided to the applicant who is requesting the information. And then category 3 information is information that cannot reasonably be accessed within 30 days of the application. And so this may be information that's stored off-site or is going to take significant time to collect and provide to the applicant who is seeking the information. In addition to understanding all the rules and technicalities around access to information and protection of personal information, it is the CAO's role to have a good records retention and records management system in place. The records retention regulations set out what is deemed to be a permanent record that a municipality is required to retain permanently. And it also defines a temporary record, which is a record that a municipality must retain for a minimum period of time, but then may be disposed of after the fact. And there's also a definition of record in those regulations and includes a record of information in any form, including electronic format. So having a good understanding of your records for the municipality and then creating a good system to manage and store the records will help the municipality be open and transparent and provide the administrative head a framework and a system to provide timely access to information to the public. Records management systems can also help reduce the proliferation of paperwork in the office and help with the movement of records from hard copy files to online files. As mentioned, it will also provide timely access to requested information, and it provides staff and the CAO a framework for disposal of obsolete records. So you obviously don't want to be throwing out records that need to be kept for a period of time or permanently, but you also don't want to be keeping records around the office that really should be disposed of. The records management system for your municipality will also help provide documentation of compliance with municipal, provincial, and federal regulations. So there may be certain documents related to capital projects or other undertakings that need to be stored safely and provided to municipal, provincial, or federal agencies from time to time. And then the maintenance of archival records is another benefit of a strong records management system. So this builds the historical database for the municipality and helps council and CAOs year over year to understand the history about their municipality and access all kinds of information that would be helpful to future planning and decision making. There are different ways that you can classify and maintain records. And this is just one example of how your municipality may go about organizing and maintaining different records and files within the municipality. So you can break each type of record down under various topics and divisions. In this example, there are administrative records, executive and legislative records, and operational records. And you'll see the numbers associated with each different classification. So this helps with keeping track of records and the actual physical storage of records as well. This can be a pretty significant undertaking to create a records management system for your municipality, especially if there has been challenges or gaps in records management in the past. However, it is your role as the CAO to make sure that a good records management system is in place, and it may take some time and training amongst staff to actually implement a system that works. So to sum up and do a simple overview of a records management process, there are a number of considerations to be made when a document or record comes across your desk. Firstly, you'll want to identify, is it a record? So back to that definition of record from the regulations. Is it yes, a record, or no, a record? If not, it can be disposed if it's no longer needed. If it is a record, then you'll be asking yourself, is it permanent or temporary? And what type of record is it? Those two questions will allow you to move on to where and how it should be stored and archived.